'cause it's my lazy day, just wanna lazy away. Ain't gonna do a thing for the rest of the day. You can try to seduce me, make me wanna play. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Well, welcome to Anarchy and the Ukulele. I don't know if anyone's here because I'm on my own and it's all very, very weird. Let's see. This will be the most unprepared Anarchy and the Ukulele show that I think you're ever going to see. Comments and reactions, that's what I'm after. Oh yeah, there are people here. Hello, John Hancock. See who else is there. Andrea is there. Hi, Andrea. Yeah, I remember you from Mosley. And you've been doing loads of posts online, which we love. Ren, hi Ren again. Ren's been in the office today. We saw her earlier. Marius, welcome. Paul Mansell's online. You got home okay then, Paul? That's good to know. Lynne Hunt, hi Lynne. Lynne is going to feature in a little bit on our show. Shamai Rach. Hand pink waving. I think that must be an emoji, but it's trying to describe it to me. Ren saying hello, Pauline, but I haven't seen Pauline anywhere. So sorry, Pauline, I don't know who you are. Lorraine, welcome, good evening. So yeah, I'm here on my own. So who knows how long this show might be tonight? I guess it's up to all of you guys. Hi, Steve. Hi, Ukulele MJ. Good to see you again. So let's go through what we've got. We've got me, basically. I quite enjoyed doing these in the last season. So as Bongo Boy is on holiday, I'll try and look into the camera. That might work, mightn't it? As Bongo Boy is on holiday this week, we thought that this would be an opportunity for me to do my little live, come in, chat to everybody. It's quite nice chatting to everybody. So I do like that. Oh, Marius says no sound. Is everyone else finding sound? Because there should definitely be sound. Oh, has there been a massive budget cut? Is that because I'm here on my own, John? Marius, I'm not sure what's happening with the sound because I think everyone else has got sound. Oh, yeah, Paul says he's got sound. God, Marius, are you trying to give me a heart attack? I'm on my own, mate. You're trying to... My little heart was going like that then. So I think everyone else has got sound, which is awesome. Where was I? I can't remember. So yeah, Bongo Boy's away. So I'm doing one of my lives so I can chat along to everybody on the chat. So we have this week... might be a shorter show. I don't know. There's not as many sections. We have a question and answer section because we've been asked a few questions online this week. I'm going to attempt to answer them. That might be interesting. Then we have a fantastic little start of an interview with Ukulele MJ, which we did this week, me and Abby. So we're going to play you the beginning of that. But if you want to watch the full interview, it will go out on the channel. It's not going to go out tonight straight after the show, but it will go out over the weekend. So hopefully tomorrow, Sunday at the latest, that will go up on the channel. And you can see that. Of course, he's back because he rang me and said, Daddy, you've got to include Chord of the Week. In fact, and I said, oh, maybe we'll have a little, we're changing up this week. We'll have a little break. And he said, no, it's Chord of the Week. Of course you're going to include Chord of the Week. So Chord of the Week will be back. And then Paolo, the man himself, my favourite bit, the bit that never sends me to sleep at all, Paul's ukulele content. And 100% it won't send me to sleep this week because Lynne's on there, Lynne Hunt, who, if you're chatting along, you'll know Lynne from the chat, but Lynne went and did a ukulele building course with Pete Howlett, and Paul has got his hands on that ukulele. Lynne's there as well. They're having a good old chinwag about it. So that is Paul's ukulele content this week, and genuinely I can't wait for it, Paul. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm going to watch it with all of you guys and chat along. What else have we got? That's it. That's it for this week. And then at the end of the show, we've got a performance by Ukulele MJ as well of one of her own original songs. So all of that is to come up. I'm going to try and keep an eye on the chat. Yeah, everyone can hear me. That is cool. Oh, honestly, Marius, the panic that went through me, the panic was immense. Hi, Bonnie. Good to have you back. Hi, Jude. Shamai. Jude, you got a mention last week, but I'm not sure whether you saw it or not, but you did get a mention in last week's show. I tipped you to win a prize, I think. We currently don't have a competition for this week as well, so maybe we'll come up with one. Yep, everyone can hear. That is awesome. Steve says Foundation IK. I don't know what that means, Steve. Are you all trying to confuse me? All good from Colin. Sound okay. Perhaps it was a autocorrect. Bonnie, nice to have you live on the chat. Yeah, it's I like doing these lives. I'm not going to do them all the time, but I think like once a month, once every 6 weeks, I will come on and give everyone else a rest because it's quite hard putting these shows together. Got to have chord of the week. Yes, Steve, we've got to have chord of the week. Lynn, you built a beauty, says Jude, which, yeah, wait until you see the video, Jude. It is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I mean, I've not properly watched it, but I have just skimmed through it. John says, I'm guessing that Ivor Biggin said no. Ivor Biggin never got back to us, John, but apparently he's a bit of a recluse, so his management said, and they were kind of like, we've contacted him, but he just might not get back. Abby the Goldberg is live on the chat, which I did say if it goes really badly tonight, I'll call her onto the system with me via the internet, but that tends to never work when we do that, so hopefully it won't go that badly that we have to do that. Right, I'm skimming through these so I can get to the first section. Yeah, you did, Jude. You got it. Was a small mention, but you got a mention. Paul says, happy birthday Monday, Andrea. 21, I reckon. Yeah, me too. Andrea was at our gig at the Vale and did our workshop. And she's amazing and lovely and fantastic singer and ukulele player. So really nice to have Andrea along. Right. What is the first section? Well, the first section is apparently going to be questions and answers, which means it's me talking for more. So let me play the intro and then we'll see where we are. Now, this was a mistake, wasn't it? Because I've got to find all the questions now. But it should be very easy. Here we go. Contains questions. Apply. So, right, from FUY735, we have a question on our Fender Acoustic 100 amplifier review, which is a really popular video of ours. So I think people are really interested in the acoustic amplifiers. Does anyone know if this amp works with the Fender Tone PC software? Yes, I do know that. Oh, you want to know whether it works? I get you. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I think that's a later thing, and that's about dialing in tones remotely and things like that. So no, it doesn't work with the software. It does have a USB input on there, but that's just for updating firmware and things like that, I believe. Yamaha GL1 Ukulele video EV Lutonian. Anyone know what is the standard string gauge on these? I need to replace the low string on mine. I don't know the answer to that, but we're gonna look that up and I'll put it on the chat for you because I think so. Let me just get this right. A ukulele is tuned A to A, so it's the same as the top 4 strings on a ukulele. So yeah, a set of guitar strings just isn't going to work at all. So I'm guessing proper ukulele strings is where you need to go to get them replaced. Otherwise, you're going to be slightly all over the place with it, because baritone strings would work on some of them, but not on the really low ones. If anyone's got an answer to that on the chat, let us know. Marius, you know about these kind of things. You might know about that, which would be really cool. Abby, is it Paul's birthday tomorrow? Paul, I literally saw you today. I had no idea it was your birthday tomorrow. And Paul he came into the office today and he bought us a present. And it's his birthday tomorrow, and we didn't buy him anything, but we did buy him a ukulele 2 years ago, and we said that was for all of his future birthdays and Christmases, Easters, just anything in general. So happy birthday, Paul, for tomorrow. Love you. What else have we got? Anorak211 says, hi, about the Cheltenham Festival, why are there no one-day tickets? If I want to go for one day, it's £80. Is that right? That's a vast amount of money for one day. I don't know the answer as to why there's not, but I do know, however, I believe Matt has said in the past, Matt Stead, who's organising the Cheltenham Festival, that he understands that, the price might be hard for some people, and if you're really struggling with that, to contact him. Now, I'm not saying he can do anything there, but it might be worth just sending him an email or a message on Facebook and saying, could you have a reduced rate because you can only attend for one day. I don't know whether he'll be able to do that or not, but he's a very nice guy. If he can't, but might be worth asking. And then Andrea, who is Andy Pandy on YouTube, says, can you show us how to play the break in the chain? Now, Andrea, I wasn't sure which bit you were talking about there, whether you're talking about the bass part or the guitar solo that we do in that ukulele solo that we do in there. So let us know on the chat, and I might come back to that one and see whether I can just go through that with you later on in the program. If not, perhaps we'll do a little video for you, but let us know. So questions and answers, that was all the ones that we had this week. If you've got any on the chat for me, now is your chance, because I'm here on my own and I'll answer whatever you want to know. I've said this before and nobody really tested me, so literally anything you want to know, maybe about me, about Anarchy, about Paul, definitely about Paul, about any of the others, ask me a question and I will give you an answer, however bad or embarrassing that answer might be. Just jumping back on the chat, there's lots of happy birthdays going on now. If I missed something, I do apologise. Jesse says happy birthday to Paul. John says, picture this happy birthday message arriving with a slightly more appropriate time. Yeah, it's not appropriate for happy birthday messages whilst we're on a show. That's just rude, I think. So anyway, next up we have a little section of our interview with Ukulele MJ. Now this interview we did very, very late last night, and it'd been a very long day, and there was a plan. Me and Abby stayed late as well, and we said that we would do this interview. It was, I think, 8:30 our time, 9:30 MJ's time, and we had baby Anarchy in the office, and baby Anarchy's bedtime was 7 o'clock, and we said that's fine because we'll get him to sleep at 7 o'clock. We can do the interview, then you can ferry him home later and he'll still stay asleep and it'll be great. 8:30 comes, baby Anarchy is wide awake and not showing any signs of going to sleep at all. So our normal, very professional, obviously, we are very, very professional, obviously, interview or interviews happen. This probably isn't one of them, so I'm apologising to MJ now because she's on the chat, but she was brilliant about it. Took me ages to edit it earlier because I had to edit all of the baby screaming out, so it sounds now like he was as good as gold and the best baby ever. Although we were telling someone about this today and they said you should have just kept saying, or you should introduce it and say, I'm really sorry, but MJ's baby just kept screaming throughout. But I don't think that really worked. But anyway, here is the first part of the interview with MJ. The main interview will go out either tomorrow or Sunday on our channel. I hope you enjoy it.
We are very excited to be joined today by the brilliant MJ. MJ, thank you for joining us.
Wow.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry for the slightly unprofessional baby in the studio.
Well, let's just give some slight background. Ralphie. Let's give some slight background. So we've been very busy all day, and with this interview is now our time. It is 9:15 in the evening. MJ's time it's 9:45.
Yep.
And Ralphie was supposed to go to bed at 7:00.
Yes, he was. But he
Yeah.
he had a late nap and then he pooed himself. So here we are. In a weird outfit and on camera.
So he's joining us on the Friday show.
But he's very good at waving.
Very good at waving and making lots and lots of noise. But we are going to persevere because we want to talk to MJ, don't we, Ralphie? So thank you so much for joining us.
So late at night as well.
Yeah, late at night for you, definitely.
I'm off tomorrow, so it's not that bad.
Lovely.
Excellent. So, I mean, we first came across MJ really kind of on social media, I think it was, and seeing some of your videos and what you're doing. Yeah, so seeing you on social media and your style of playing, you really stood out to us. Do you want to tell us a little bit about sort of what your style is?
Oh my God, it's so hard because I like so many different kinds of music. I like really chill music where you can actually like, it's kind of dreamy and where you can float into, but I also like the Spanish style, so like the flamenco techniques and stuff. And I also really love the Hawaiian classics like body surfing and the wipeout, the surf rock stuff. I like so many different kinds of music, so it's really hard to define my style, but I think I'm kind of getting there and getting to know what I am as an artist. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. How long have you been playing? I guess that's kind of a fairly standard question, but it's...
Yeah, almost 6 years. It will be 6 years in June. So yeah, last year was my 5-year ukiversary.
And how did you get into playing? Was it kind of, did you already play an instrument, or how did you happen upon the ukulele?
Well, I used to play piano as a kid. So I was like, I think I was 9 or 10 when I started having piano lessons. And it was like classical music, so Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin. I played all of that, but as a kid, I was so young and I didn't really appreciate the classical music. I do now, like I find it so beautiful, but back in the day, I was just young and I wanted to do whatever I wanted. So, yeah, I guess I quit after like 4 or 5 years. And then in 2018, I saw the video of Honoka and Azita going viral, like the body surfing video. And yeah, I just really loved that song. And I was kind of obsessed with it and I wanted to learn it as well. But yeah, I didn't know what they were playing because they play tenor ukes as well. And I always thought that ukuleles were small, like soprano size. So I was like, what is that instrument? And I looked it up and I researched and then I found the ukulele. So then I bought like a 35 euro very cheap soprano uke. It was like pink. I gave it to my baby niece now as like her first instrument. But yeah, that's why yeah, that's the first instrument, I guess. And then quickly I kind of picked up on the more easy U chords and I was like, whoa, I can actually play this. And then I bought a Kala concert uke and yeah, from there it just grew, I guess, and it became kind of an obsession.
So much so that you put ukulele in your... So Ukulele MJ is your kind of performance name, shall we say?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard to think of like an artist name, and I don't know why, but that was just kind of easy and it kind of rolls off the tongue. So I thought like, okay, Ukulele MJ, sure. And then later on, when I started making my own music, I just actually used it as my artist name. So I guess, yeah, we'll just go with it.
It stuck, and now you are Ukulele MJ.
So yeah, your own music, and I believe we've got one of your songs played at the end of the show. Tell us
Yeah.
about that. Tell us about sort of how you write, what kind of things you write.
Yeah, I think it started around the time of like COVID and the lockdowns. I was at home a lot and I was really bored and I was like playing a lot of ukulele. And yeah, I think in the third lockdown I wrote my first song called Lost World. I released it in February this year. And yeah, I didn't really know I could write a song myself, but it just kind of happened. Like I picked 4 chords I liked and I thought were feeling like I was feeling at the moment. And yeah, the way that I write is kind of, it's just improvising until you find something that clicks in your head. Like you just improvise, and then after improvising for a few minutes, suddenly you have this riff, and you're like, "Oh my God, I really love this!" And then you keep that, and then from there you go further with the improvising until eventually you have a whole song. So that's kind of how I write. I usually start with the backing chords, or like with my song Harmony, for example, I wanted to write a really chill, relaxing, dreamy song, so I just picked really chill chords like seventh chords and stuff like that, and eventually, yeah, a song came out. It's really weird how it sometimes happens, but yeah, it's basically just improvising until you have a whole song.
I mean, that's the way to write sometimes. I mean, it's
And do you write constantly? Are you always writing, or do you kind of dedicate a certain amount of time a week, or do you just do it when it strikes you? How do you kind of keep?
Well, I do really play a lot, so I really play every day because I love it so much. And sometimes a song comes in like 2 or 3 days, like First Light, the one I sent you for this interview. I wrote that in like 2 days. And then Anxious Echoes is the one you used as a video for the awards.
yes, yeah.
I don't know if you remember that one. I also wrote in like 2 days. So like I have so many songs in my head. I now have 4 different songs in my head that I have yet to record, and they're in my mind, and the backing chords are finished. I just have to write the solo for them, and that happens a lot. Like sometimes just some certain chords come to me in my head, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna save this for later and write a solo over it. So I guess it's like maybe a song per 2 months or something. I hope it keeps going. I mean, I'm kind of scared that eventually I'll run out of ideas. But
Yeah, you're never going to run out of ideas. Definitely not. Definitely not.
I hope not.
Because I mean, you're talking about the awards. So you were nominated for Best Newcomer.
as new upcoming artist, yeah.
Is that what it was? Yeah, it was. Yes, yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Which it's a strange category because it was very easy to offend people with that. You know, if you've been playing for 6 years, you might not be a newcomer. But I guess to our audience, you were maybe a newcomer, and
Yeah, and I am, because I've only been doing like I've only been writing music and releasing music since the end of 2022, so it's really, yeah. Before that it was just a hobby and I posted on Instagram, but now it's grown so much more, so it makes sense.
you have a very good technique, particularly on the sort of the flamenco style and things like that. And actually, we've had a number of people, fairly high-profile performers in the ukulele world, say to us, you know, have you heard of Ukulele MJ?
Really?
So you're definitely being talked about, and I think that is because your technique is good, and you know it's an impressive technique to have the flamenco style on the ukulele. I think it it impresses a lot of people.
Yeah.
Where
So fun.
yeah, I mean, I've never even tried it, I've got to say. So
That surprises me.
perhaps when we're all at the British Ukulele Festival,
Yes.
perhaps
MJ can teach.
MJ can give me a 10-minute lesson to get me started or something.
I will. It's a promise. Even so crazy to me that I've come so far already. Like I started performing for people 1 year ago in June. So last June I started, like it was the first time I performed for people ever, and I was so scared. It's really, it's still scary, a little bit less, but I was so scared. There was like 40 or 50 people. And now in June, I've been invited to play at the Berliner Ukulele Festival.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Berlin to play there, and that's just
Yeah, that's amazing.
so crazy to me.
And that's a great. I mean, I don't want to scare you, but I saw the footage of Sammy 4-string boy doing it last year. I think it's a big stage.
Oh my god.
But you're going to be amazing. You have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
But
And you know, like the ukulele community is so supportive and kind, and I think it's maybe one of the best audiences to play in front of, because the people are just, even if you can only play like a C chord and strum and just be happy with it, people will love it, you know? So it doesn't really matter how good you are, people will love you anyway. So I'm especially really excited to meet other players that I admire and that I've been speaking to on Instagram. I'm just really excited to, meet everyone and play. And
ukulele MJ, you're amazing. That whole interview is about 30 minutes long. It's going to go out, let's say, tomorrow or Sunday, so look out for that. And the bit that I didn't show there, which I probably should have, is that MJ's got a new single coming out next Friday. So look out for that on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Amazon Music, all of them, everywhere you could possibly look. Search for Ukulele MJ. She's already got some music out already, and she's going to play a song at the end of the show for us as well. But look out for next Friday, new single. MJ or Abby, because Abby actually remembered what it was called, and I can't for the life of me remember. Pop it in the chat. Let us all know what the single's called, and I will read it out because I've forgotten it and I'm rubbish. But and also, who doesn't love a Dutch accent? That's amazing. Love that accent. And look, MJ was brilliant. Ralphie not so much, but I did cut out a lot of the screaming, but it wasn't his fault. It was our fault, really. I'm going to get back to the questions because I've seen some cracking questions in here. And I've got to address, first off, let me find it. I've got to address this question from John that says, oh, it's way back in the chat now. Way back in the chat. It says, KD, have you ever tried beard dye like Billy Connolly used to? Now, I said that I'd answer anything. And now I did read further on in the chat, you weren't asking about you were thinking like purple beard dye or some colour, of which, no, I've never tried. But just because you mentioned it, John, just for men, grey reducing beard wash. I said I'd reveal. I said, if you ask me, I'll reveal anything. The bigger question should be why I've got this at work. But Yeah, I've been using Just for Men beard wash for a while, and I'm not embarrassed. You know, if you're gonna do these things, you have to own up to them. And my beard was getting a bit too grey. This is great because you don't have to dye it. You just wash your beard in it every couple of days or so, in between normal washing, and it makes it a little bit less grey. Hey, I am an absolute poser. Let me get rid of that. And you know, if you call me out on it, John, I've got to tell you about it because that's what I said I'd do. So don't think anyone was expecting me to reveal that tonight. Anyway, I've got another couple of questions to answer later on. Paul's gone off on one about some old episode of Top of the Pops with Billy Connolly singing Supergran, and he put, and I'd forgotten how good that was. Was it really that good, Paul? Was it? Anyway, so let me whiz through some of these chats. Is there anything I've missed? I tell you what I did just see come up on the chat. Hi, Sammy. Saw that you're in the house tonight. Good evening. Late as usual. A bit like our next edition of You Can Talk. You Can Talk. I can't say it sometimes. It is. I have done it, Sammy, and it is going out this weekend. So for anybody that's been missing it, it's all been my fault. We've had a little break, but the next episode is going out this weekend, and the next episode after that will come thick and fast because we're on it now, or I am at least. Steve, I don't know you, but I just saw a lovely message from you that says, if it wasn't for Anarchy while I was looking on YouTube, that I ended up picking the ukulele up and learning to play. Your grammar's poor, which is what Abby would say if she read that message out, Steve. I'm really sorry, but I'm just passing that on from Abby. But that's lovely. That is so nice to hear, and we love messages like that. You know, if in some bizarre way our silly little YouTube channel has inspired people to pick an instrument up and play, that is really, really nice. What else have we got on the chat? Lots of things about flamencolele. We do love a wurge. Wurge is one of our favourite things. Paul can't wait to see the full interview. No, do watch the full interview when it comes out because it is brilliant. Rose Coloured Clouds, MJ single, says Abby. Abby, remember. I knew Abby would remember it. She should be here. I'm terrible on my own. Totally agree about the ukulele community, says Ukulele Wales. Yeah, we all do. We love the ukulele community. First Light, says MJ. I think that's what's coming at the end of the show. I think. I'm getting confused now. Abby says it's not working. I don't know what she's talking about. Hopefully it's not me. Hopefully I'm working. Apparently I'm a little bit quiet, so I'm just trying to speak into the microphone a little bit more. John says he's terribly impressed by my honesty. Yeah, well, like I say, I don't get embarrassed easily, John, if I'm honest. Not about stuff like that. I just didn't want a really grey beard, and it was going a bit grey, and you know, you feel a bit old, and I was like, you know, dyeing it I feel would be one step too far though. I'd look like, if anyone's seen Rylan, who has like a jet black beard, which I find very weird. Right. Harsh. It's really hard reading because Abby just says harsh Kevin. I don't know why. Oh, I guess that was because I picked Steve up on the grammar of his message. Hey Steve, if you watch any of the messages I type when I'm on the chat, they're all over the place, and then I read them and think like, oh, what on earth have I just done? Abby says for Just for Men isn't working. Well, you want to see it without the Just for Men, Abby. That's what you want to see. If you don't think that's working, I'm like Santa Claus. Right, where shall we go next? Let's have a look. It's time for the little man himself. He's probably got bored by now and stopped watching because that's what happened last week. But it is time for Chord of the Week. Now, this week's chord was provided to him courtesy of Paul Mansell. And I'm not 100% sure it is what he says it is. But, you know, again, look on the chat. Tell me if we're right or wrong on this one. Here we go. Chord of the Week.
Chord of the Week.
This week's chord of the week is an A minor 11, which is 11 0 0 0 0.
Chord of the Week.
Oh, forgot to put me back on there. So, okay, is it an A minor 11? So, an A minor 11 would have a G sharp in, which is what the 11th fret is. I think Paul might be right. I think it's, and Jesse, obviously. I think it's an A minor 11. We were talking about chord of the week earlier, and Paul didn't believe that Jesse was actually playing all the chords. So I don't know what he thought was happening, and Jesse is absolutely playing all of the chords, which is why, sometimes all the notes don't necessarily sound, but he's 7 years old and he's learning them. And so he's doing brilliantly playing all the chords. And Paul said, I didn't think he was playing them. I thought you'd overdubbed them because they were so complicated. I said, yeah, but the issue is that he's now only learning really complex chords. So he's going to be probably the first person ever, let alone the first 7-year-old ever, to only be able to play things like sharp and ninths and flat and fifths and all of these jazz chords. But he hasn't yet learnt all of the basic chords, but he's getting there. He's doing brilliantly. So well done, Jess. A minor 11, is this jazz club all of a sudden? Yes, it is, John. Have you not noticed all the chords are jazz chords every week? Chord of the week is jazz chords. Come on, pay attention now. Pay attention. So, right, let's move on, because I thought this was going to be a short show, and it's getting on a little bit. It is time for Paul's ukulele content, which this week is him and Lynne. I'm really looking forward to this because I haven't watched it all yet. So I really hope you enjoy this. I think it's going to be fascinating, and Lynne's ukulele looks amazing. So here we go.
Hello everybody, I'm joined today by my friend and student Lynne. Lynne has recently made this wonderful ukulele with Pete Howlett, who we were very lucky to have on the show before. So Lynne's actually done a week-long course with Pete where she and he built this together. So first of all, Lynne, do you want to just tell us a little bit about the course that you've done with Pete?
Okay, yeah, so Pete offers a 6-day course, and it's actually a one-to-one course. So you travel up to North Wales, down near Snowdon, lovely part of the country. You drive all along the coast to get there, into his workshop in Tallysan, and then he does a bit of preparation first, because obviously 6 days is quite a short amount of time for someone that's never made a ukulele before to make one. And then he works through with you for 6 days, and this is what I've come home with. It's a beautiful tenor ukulele, slim body. I sent some ideas first on the fingerboard, so Pete was able to do a lot of that. Pete mainly makes tenors.
Okay.
So he advertised it as a tenor. You had a choice of making it out of cherry or koa.
Yeah.
And I chose koa.
Okay, so front and back koa, yeah?
Yeah, front, back, sides are laminated koa. The neck is mahogany, and it's Indian rosewood fretboard and headstock. And
interestingly, no sound hole here.
No.
So what's that all about?
So Pete's idea, he actually built another instrument alongside this one and did slightly different bracing on the inside, so he could compare the two. And you've probably seen, if you look at Pete's Facebook page, he's got a Pete Howlett studio. I recommend you follow him there. And he's been trying out different bracing, and he wanted to compare the two, and V bracing or cross bracing. And I think he's coming to the conclusion it doesn't really matter. So the sound hole, the idea is he's got quite a radius on the instrument, on the back and on the front. And the sound hole is here, so we've got all of this here to resonate before the sound actually reaches where it's going to come out, I guess.
And also, I think the other idea is that you hear more as well, because normally your sound hole's at the front, so the people watching or listening to you can hear you, but you necessarily as the player can't hear as much. So these are becoming very popular. So Pete, he's kind of like recognised as one of the one of the best ukulele builders in the world. You know, he's incredibly well renowned. The guys in the ukulele orchestra of Great Britain, a lot of them use his ukes, don't they?
Yeah.
When you rock up, how much of it has been done, or are you staring at a piece of wood and, well, that's it, we've got to make that into a ukulele?
I mean, he's book matched the front and the back. They're roughly cut to size. He'd already prepared the sides. These are actually laminate koa. This is another Pete's experiment.
Just explain what laminate koa means.
So it's koa, but it's several layers glued together.
And what's the idea between the sides being laminate koa and the front being sort of solid koa?
I think a lot of people say you must have a solid instrument is going to sound better.
Yeah.
People tend to think laminate's not quite the thing. However, Pete, using laminate on the sides, he said it's a lot easier. It holds its shape. It's not as springy. So once he's shaped it, it holds it better.
Right.
And again, with his experiments, I think it's not making an awful lot of difference in the sound on his instruments.
Yeah.
So at the moment, Pete's current builds generally laminate at the side.
Okay, fantastic. And then talk to us about, so you've designed this, let's do a little close-up there at the camera. You've designed this beautiful headstock here, well, the inlay on the headstock, and also if we look down on the neck, these mother of pearl inlays here. So you obviously wanted it something personal to you, so you've designed these, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I had some ideas of what I'd like, and I wasn't sure how intricate Pete could go with. I mean, they're hand built ukuleles, but he does use CNC machines as well, because to do that by hand, I'm not even sure it's possible.
Yeah.
So I sent him some ideas with these drawings, and then a couple of days later, he's like, "Well, here's the drawing," and then he'd already prepared the fingerboard.
Yeah.
Again, I say there's a limit to what you can do in 6 days. I suggested these designs. If you couldn't quite manage it, I thought I'll just go with a little triangle at the sides. But Pete's done an amazing job on those. These are quite personal to me. This one is an angel. Represents my twin sister who I lost just before we were 3. This just represents my dad, always in my heart. This represents my mum, the infinite love. And again, because I was twins, why have 2 dots at the 12th fret when you can have twin girls?
Yeah.
And then this is my little Springer Spaniel.
Oh, bless.
And at the top, this is it's the sheepdog monument in New Zealand at the Church of the Good Shepherd. And this is where myself and my husband Cliff spent a lot of time in New Zealand. And in the view of that, where he asked me if we'd get married. So there you go.
Oh, bless.
So yeah, but it came out really nicely. And I think Pete did some experimenting as well with actually inlaying the mother of pearl to mother of pearl.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, it's amazing. We're going to play it in a little bit. Pete, he generally has a waiting list for his ukuleles, but not always. Sometimes he builds them, and occasionally, due to life changes, people drop out of buying them, etc. So he does have some available at the moment. If you want a Pete Howlett ukulele, this is an amazing way to get one, because the courses aren't as expensive as you would imagine, and you get an amazing ukulele, I think, at an incredible price, because you get a Pete Howlett ukulele that you're also involved with. You're learning from a guy who's at the top of his game. You get to spend a week in Wales as well. So if anybody is thinking they potentially want a Pete Howlett, or they potentially want to learn about how to build ukuleles, I would say this is an ideal course for them.
The best bit, I think everyone would probably say this about the course, is the neck carving. Now, Pete's actually got a DVD on neck carving. And this started off as a big rectangular piece of wood. He'd shaped it basically, but you use a half-round file.
Incredible, isn't it? Think that
and
carved out
by hand, on the very close supervision of Pete. But it's amazing when it starts to come to life and you're getting the shape coming. And if you do as you're told, it ends up coming out like this.
Yeah.
But I could see, people would get a bit gung-ho and, maybe take a bit too much off. But I think I was a bit timid at times. But it was so nice working with Pete. He was such a generous person. And sometimes we'd sit and chat as we work. But I didn't want to drive him a bit crazy nattering. And then sometimes, we could work in silence. And to find someone you're comfortable with in the same room, just to be working away quietly. And yeah, it was a really lovely week, and Pete's so generous with his knowledge.
Yeah.
Again, if you look at his Facebook page, he's always sharing ideas, and you know, we've got little questions. He's so happy to share his knowledge, of which there's 30 odd years.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful looking uke. I've had a play on it. I really like it. It's fantastic uke. I think we should have a little play of it. We're going to do a duet, and then I'm going to have a little bash on it on my own. So let's get on with that. 2, 3. There you go. That's the wonderful ukulele that Lynne made with Pete Howlett. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Wow. What an amazing ukulele that is. I loved that. Well done, Lynne and Paul. But more well done, Lynne, for building what looks an incredible ukulele. I love the double cutaway. Not cutaway, double sound hole. I think that's a really unique design and quite a cool design. I really like that. It sounds fantastic. It looks fantastic. And I know Pete is open to people booking these courses with him. So if anyone's interested, I think that's what an amazing way to get a really personalized ukulele. I love all the fretboard bits as well, and the fact that everything on there means something to you, Lynn. I think that is awesome. So well done, Lynn. What an amazing ukulele. And we're going to put that video out separately as well. So if anyone wants to watch it again, I'm going to put that out next week as a separate video, because I think that people that don't necessarily watch the Friday show don't know what's the matter with them, but I think they would be interested in watching it. Right, just going back to the chat, there's been lots of chat about my beard. My favourite message, when someone said have they missed anything, and Rach, Ukulele Wales, just says KD used beard dye to look younger. Just leave it there. I'm very vain. I'm a very vain person, as we all are, but I just admit it. Anyway, what else have we got on the chat? So yeah, Sammy commented about the chord of the week. I have this really ropey ukulele to play it on though, which is not making it sound great. Terrible thing. And I think Sammy said he thinks it's a sharpened 13th. So I'm going to dispute that, Sammy, because a sharpened 13th would have a B natural in it, and there's no B natural in it. There's a G sharp, which I think does make it an A minor 11th. Feel free to dispute that with me. Anyone else, or Sammy, come back at me, and we'll fight over it. I reckon you'd fight dirty. I think actually, I think you might slap me or scratch me. But I think Paul, and it pains me to say that Paul might be right, but I think Paul might be right and you might be wrong, because there's no B natural in it, which is what a sharpened 13th would be in A. I think I did have to just go to the piano and play it, because that's my norm for working out chords. I have to sit at a piano rather than a ukulele and do it. Anyway, we are nearing the end of this show. I didn't think it was going to last an hour this week with me sat here not knowing what I was going to say, but pulling out the Just the Men really helped. I was going to show you something else, because I think there's a few people on this chat that will appreciate this. So I'm sat here and I have a little tipple to drink. Oh, it is lovely, and it was a present from one of our members of staff in the office. Sorry, I'm going off microphone here, and I was just going to show it to you because I was so pleased to get a present from somebody. So our cleaner Julie left this on my desk this morning, and sorry, I will talk into the microphone. Left this on my desk, this bottle of good stuff with these couple of post-it notes on there. So this one, I don't know if you can see that, says Bullis vodka, wild plum, similar to damson. I'm not even a vodka drinker, but she did ask me this mysterious question of what I like to drink the other day, because apparently her brother makes stuff, and I just said anything that's wet. I was no more specific than that. So she left me that lovely bottle of vodka, and it had that note on it saying what it was, which was the Bullis vodka, wild plum, similar to damson. But it also had this other note that just says, very strong, enjoy. And I can confirm during this show, it is very, very strong. So I'm enjoying it very much. I'm not driving home tonight. I'm staying in the studio because I've got stuff to do. But yeah, awesome. Right, what are we talking about in the chat now? Because I'm seeing all sorts of stuff. Yeah, people love the fretboard. So do I. That's a ukulele to be proud of. Yes, it absolutely is. I think everyone thinks it's stunning, Lynn. And the next time I see you at a gig or somewhere, I really, really want to have a play of it because it looks amazing. John says fingerprint magnet. I think he's talking about this shining light over here. Oh, John, it's not. Look, It just depends what light you hold it in. It's a lovely ukulele, one of my favourites. What else have we got? Kevin can't be natural. Don't know what you're talking about, Abby. There. Sorry, I'm thinking it was 11 on the G. No, Sammy. No. You know we loves you, KD. I love you too, Rach. Is that to keep you awake? It's not keeping me awake. It's going to send me to sleep. Good evening, Mr. Pete Moss. You're very late. It's nice to have Pete joining us though, because we've got some more videos with Pete that are going to be coming out very, very soon now. We've got some band performances, or a band performance, and a review of Pete's ukulele as well coming out. What else have we got there? Question for KD. Remember you said you would answer. Go on then, Rach. Hit me with it before I cut you off, and I will answer whatever it is. Go for it. Before we do that, I have had some other questions come in. So one of them was whether I know of any really good ukulele weekends, and what is the best ukulele weekend? Best ukulele weekend. I don't. I've got an idea. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. I've got an idea. Anyone got any good recommendations for like a really good ukulele weekend?
Oh, ukulele weekend. Not a festival. Definitely a weekend.
Definitely a weekend.
No, what do you recommend, Andy?
Probably the Bracklesham Ukulele Weekends. They're really, really good. There's one on the Isle of Wight and Jersey, and one in Eastbourne.
Nice.
And you can go to www.iowtours.com and you can book them there.
Amazing.
I mean, it's just a thought.
Thank you. We did have another question.
Yeah.
Which was, what's better, opera or ukulele? Rude. And there was another question. Does anyone know a really good classical ukulele teacher?
No, I'm out. No idea. I've been looking for ages.
Paul, we'll keep trying to find you one, but we'll get there in the end. Best opera or ukulele? The door stopped there. Good attempt on shutting the door.
Should we do that bit again?
Yeah. Mandy and George they've been with us all day, which I think is why I'm the only one left, because it was such a fun day. And next week's show is a Ukulele special. So join us next Friday. We've got loads of good content. We did a really good interview with them. And we did a really, really cool song. Really cool because me and Paul are playing instruments that we don't always play, which is cool. So I'm on drums because Bongo Boy was away, and Paul's on bass. And we did a mashup of a whole bunch of songs with ukulele, with Abby singing as well. It is not one to be missed. And also Bracklesham weekend, they have Jersey coming up. I can't remember the dates because I'm terrible with dates, but have a look on the website, and there's the last few tickets available for that, and there is the last handful of tickets available for the October one in Eastbourne, which is the one that we are playing at. We're going to be there all weekend, so the lineup is absolutely amazing, because I think they said earlier it's the 10th anniversary of George and Mandy doing the weekends, and they've gone all out for the lineup, including Anarchy and the ukulele, and we're going to have so much fun. We've been talking about the late night cabaret, which by the sounds of it is not one to be missed, and there will be no videos of our performance of the late night cabaret. So if you want to see that, then you really need to book your tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, while I'm talking about gigs, we are off next week on the second part of our tour. We are off to Camberley on Thursday night, which is Thursday the 18th. Please, if you're anywhere near, if you're that side of the country, come down to Camberley. It's at the Login Lounge. The venue looks absolutely amazing. It was the home to the Good Friday Uke Fest a couple of weeks ago. And we're playing there on the Thursday. Tickets are available online, I think directly from the Login Lounge. And there's workshop tickets available as well, because we're doing a workshop beforehand, and they are available from the Ukulele Project website, which is www.ukuleleproject.com, I believe. So we're there on Thursday, and then Friday we're travelling to Dublin, so we might not be on the chat, although we might be, because we're just travelling on Friday. So some of us might be able to get on the chat. I will probably be driving, but everyone else could chat along. We're travelling over to Dublin. And we are playing with the Dublin Ukulele Collective at the Sugar Club in Dublin. So if you're in Ireland, if you're near to Dublin, please get your tickets to that. I don't know how many tickets are left. It's usually a sellout, I believe. So that's going to be really good. We're also going to film a Friday show in Dublin at the gig. And we've got loads of guests lined up for that and some special performances. And that's going to be absolutely amazing. So that's all happening next week. Opera Lady special. We've got videos with Pete Moss coming out as well. MJ's full interviews coming out over the weekend. There's so much going on. It is awesome. Right. Before I end this show with a performance from Ukulele MJ, I'm just going to check the chat and see what I've missed. So, Rach, your question now. I feel like you've missed a trick with this question, really, because the answer is very simply no. I'm not shaving my beard off during my live stream. If you want to see me without a beard, Rach, it is not a good look. In fact, give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I can probably show you what I look like without a beard, and it's quite a scary thought. But if I show you this picture of me without a beard, then I'm also going to have to show you the picture of Abby that I promised on a previous Friday show of her natural curly hair. So maybe let's start with that one, because I can leave that on screen for the full time that I'm trying to find a picture of me with a beard. Here we go. Abby with her natural hair. I think it's an amazing look that I think she should go for all the time. So maybe we will start some kind of online campaign to free the curls and for Abby to do a gig with her natural hair. Look at that. It's very dark, that photo, but you know, have a good close look. I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. Oh, do you know what? I can't find this picture that I'm looking for, Rach. Let me see. It must be on here somewhere. It's quite scary. I would tell you all to look away if I was you. I take way too many pictures of myself, it appears. All right, it's got to be coming up. Oh, here we go. So this I did for Movember. So I'm not fully cleanly shaven. But that is me without a beard. I don't think it's a good look. I don't think I'll be doing it again. I might do Movember again. Who knows? If you guys want to sponsor me, then maybe I'll do it. Abby, however, I'm starting the Bring Back the Curl campaign. Free the curls. That was the one. Because what an awesome look. It's like Diana Ross and Aretha Franklin all rolled into one. Right, I think it's nearly time. The only other bit of news or whatever it's called that I need to cover is we said we'd have a limerick competition last week, and there is a clear winner, and it is Lorraine Kenner, whose limerick was, now I'll try and read this correctly, there was a young lady called Abby whose reviews on the loo weren't too shabby, but she let one off when she did a cough, now there's poo all over the lavvy. Should we just have a moment of silence for that limerick? Now, if you knew Abby, Lorraine, you would know how apt that limerick actually is. But anyway, I think it's time for the end of the show. MJ says yes to the curls. Ukulele Wells, definitely the curls. This is what we need. Is that Kevin Keegan? I love that. Abby, people are loving the curls. I'm going to start the Free the Curls movement. I'm going to get an online petition up, and we're going to get lots of signatures for that one. So all that is left is a fantastic performance from Ukulele MJ. It's been loads of fun. I do actually love chatting along with all you guys live. So we will do another one of these in a month or so's time because it is brilliant. Rach says, bloody hell, I would not recognise you. Good answer though. Yeah, I don't think any men look good without beards, if I'm honest, but I particularly don't look good without a beard. So the beard is staying. Here is, if I can find it, Ukulele MJ performing one of her original songs. Really hope you enjoy it. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Please tell everybody about the show. Get them to like, subscribe, follow us, see what we're up to, and we'll see you all next week with the Ukulele special. Bye bye now.
It's my